Hello, scrapbooking buddies. Debbie Martin here. We're back here for our 9th session of the Savvy Scrapbookers. Today we're going to be using the Autumn Harvest paper and stickers. So, if you've been following along with us, Savvy Scrapbookers, that is Nicole Sew, and she's Nicole Scrapbooks, and Donna Guess, which is the Lazy Scrapbooker. Both the links for those videos will be below this video. You're going to want to pop over there because what we've been doing is taking a paper pack, dividing it up between the three of us and the stickers so that you can make 6 pages with a paper pack and stickers or paper pack and embellishments. So let's go ahead and get started. These are the papers that you're going to need today with me. You need this beautiful pumpkin. We're using this light brown wood, a dark brown, and the blue leaf. Okay, so our background papers are these 2 papers right here. So you're going to set those aside. I'll flip them over. Look how gorgeous these are on the back too. This paper bag is absolutely beautiful. So those are the ones we're setting aside. These are the 2 that we're going to be cutting. We're going to start with the pumpkins, and the pumpkins have this beautiful yellow on the back. But what we're going to do is we're going to, see, the pumpkins are horizontal. We're going to turn the pumpkins so that they're vertical, and we're going to do our first cut at 1 inch. Okay, there's 1 inch. Then we're going to do one more cut at 1 inch. Okay, then we're going to save and do something special with this. So we're going to set that aside. Then we're going to go ahead and grab our dark wood. Now on the back side of this are these beautiful tiny little acorns, and we want those acorns put correctly in the trimmer. So we're going to put it in with your acorns facing up so that you can see it. And we're going to make some mats with this. So we're going to start it at the 4-inch line. And we're going to do a 4x6. You're going to need to open up your trimmer. We're going to do a 6-inch mat. If you scrapbook with me, you know I love my 4x6 because you can cut almost any picture down just a smidge and get your 4x6 mats. So we're going to go ahead and do that one more time and turn that sideways. We're going to be putting some fall pictures that we just took not too long ago. I would love to hear what your favorite fall activities are. I'd like to do something maybe different with the grandkids this year. I would love to, we always do pumpkin farm and like a hayride, but comment below and let me know what your favorite fall activity to do with your kids or your grandkids are. Okay, so we did 4x6 and 4x4 mats. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start putting this together. Okay. So, and then we're going to do something fun with it. So, we're going to start with, when you're putting your backgrounds down, you can decide what you like. What do you like best? Do you like this side? It's a little busy, but it's gorgeous. And so is this one. I probably wouldn't put both of those together. A little too busy, but you could do this. You could do this and this. Today I kind of chose to go a little more plain, and when you see my pictures, I think you'll know why. But when you're putting it down and you're following along, as long as you're using the same 4 pieces of paper, you're going to be fine when you go to do Nicole's and Donna's, okay? So we're going to put these down, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 little pieces that we cut, okay? These are going to go at the top. So you can go ahead and grab your adhesive and put a little adhesive on it. And we're going to go ahead and put this at the top. It's going to go at the top edge. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure that's nice and straight. Goes all the way across. Do the same thing with the other little piece. You're putting it all the way at the top edge. Make sure that it's getting all the way up there. Got a little bit of tape runner sticking over here. We'll just turn that over like that. Okay, now we're going to take, because we did divide up all the stickers, okay, and I got the acorns this time, so we're going to go ahead and take our long strip of acorns off, and they're going to go they could go in the middle, or they could go in the edge. I don't know, I kind of might like the edge, because I like seeing the pumpkins at the top, but you could decide whether you want them going straight down the middle. I think I'm going to just take them right across the edge, because I think covering up that hard edge might look kind of cool. Okay, so do that with both sides. I hope you're enjoying all these Savvy Scrapbookers series that we've been doing. And if you are, make sure that you're subscribing to all of our pages. And if you push that little notification bell, you won't miss when any of us do any fun pages. Okay? So now we're going to go ahead and lay some mats on, because you need to lay our mats out so we can see where we're going to put our fun thing we're going to do here in the middle. So I'm going to bring in 2 mats over here, just about like that. Now we're going to take this piece of paper that we had left with our pumpkins. So because we cut off 2 inches off the top, it's 12 inches this way and 10 inches this way because we cut off 2. So now we're going to be using the pumpkin today. I'm going to move this page out of the way just so that I don't get all the little punch leftovers. And when you're using these punches, we're going to go all the way around. So if you're making a fun border, and I brought a border up, this punch actually stays on the page. So see how fun that is? I did it with a quick piece of orange paper. And you can, I'll take this so you can see it a little bit better. See how fun that is, just going across the top of the page like that? It stays on the page. So if you wanted to have a border, you would just need to do a straight cut with your trimmer. But today we're going to leave it on, okay? So when you're leaving it on your page, instead of starting right here on this little line right here, which is where you would start if you want a full border, we're going to start it on these lines, either one of these. It doesn't matter which side you cut, but today we are going to just put the paper in just as it is, put it on that little line right there. Okay, so there's a little piece you can see sticking out right there, and punch. Now, as you bring it down, you're lining up and covering all the blue. You still see the line, but the blue with the pumpkin is all covered up. So each time you want to make sure that you're covering it up, but you also want to make sure the paper is straight here. So what I usually do is I pull it down like this and then cover it up and then push this to the top. You can either hold here or hold here before you punch. Okay, so we line it up there. Now you can see we got to the end and it's almost here. So what we're going to do is just leave it in there so you don't get confused. Twist it and put it back to this line. Okay, so you're going to end up with this little tiny square you can just move. And then as you go around, you're going to continue to punch it. Covering up the blue, making sure it's nice and straight back here each and every time. Any of our punches like this that stay on, that you can do this with, give very, very fun page backgrounds. So you're going to see we're going to do something a little different with it today. Okay, there's your little extra square. Bring it over. Once again, I invite you to subscribe because you don't want to miss any of the fun stuff any of us are doing. Sometimes we just all come up with like little fun ideas and we put them up on YouTube just so you can see them and share them and use them in your scrapbooks. Okay, so now we're down to this one. We turn it one more time. Okay. And we're almost done with this. I love fall. Fall is one of my favorite seasons. So I am kind of excited to see what you guys like to do in the fall with your family. I would love to hear that, so make sure you put that below. So now we have this very fun border. Let's get rid of our punch leftovers here. Put them in our little garbage can. So now we have this beautiful border that could just go on our page if we wanted to. But today we're going to cut it, okay? So I'm going to pull this up so you can see it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pumpkins at the top, and there's going to be 4 come down the side. So now we're going to take our trimmer, and we're going to bring it in, and we're going to cut between the second and the third pumpkin. So there's a cutting line right here, and I'm trying to line that line up on both edges. There. So this is a good use of your little sight lines, because I don't know if you knew that the trimmer had these, but they're hidden down here in the bottom, so you gotta kind of look for them, and you can see that it's going to cut exactly where I want it to cut. Okay. So now we're going to want our pumpkins lined up correctly. So whether you did it in between here or here, I'm going to switch this one around because we're going to have more room over here. So now I'm going to bring these little ones over here, and this little one's over here. So depending on whether you put your pumpkins upside down or right when you cut it, that's how you're going to determine where you want your paper on the other side. Okay? Because you have a little bit more room on this side because this was the side that only had the 2 pumpkins. Okay, so let's go ahead and line this up because now I want to make sure that these are going on here straight. So I'm going to put my paper on here straight, come back over here, put my paper on here straight. Okay, get that little thing off. And now we're going to put some adhesive on. Now I'm going to want to use repositionable on this because, and if you haven't used repositionable, life-changing. I'm going to use my little repositionable mat here. And I'm just putting it on the pumpkins itself because you don't want this to pop up. Okay, and we're just going to put a little bit on that. I'm going to put a little bit in here. Okay, so now I'm ready to put my pumpkin down. So whatever I do on this side, I'm going to want to repeat it on this side. So I'm kind of centering it in between here and here. I want it nice and straight. And then I'm going to want to make sure this is the same way. So let me pull my mat over here. Let's put a little bit more of adhesive on it. If you haven't tried the new pumpkin punch, this is very fun. You can make just fun mats. It could go around your 4x6 mat. You can do the fun borders with it. There's just so much that you can do with it. So let's go ahead and we're ready to put a little bit of adhesive there and stick this down. Now, you can either pick a place on here or sometimes it's just as easy to pull these 2 pieces of paper together like that. Okay, because I'm wanting to look like one page is just flowing into the next page. Granted, you can have a little jeeping in between there, but it really keeps the page cohesive. Okay, so now that I got that right, I can pull it apart and I'm ready to put some mats on here. And we are ready to do a little bit of sticker clusters. So we should have one extra one of these little mats because we're going to put one here. Yeah, I think here, and maybe we'll flip this one over on this side here. And we cut 3 of these 4x4 mats. So this is where, before we stick anything down, we're going to want to pull our trimmer back over and we're going to do a little fun corner. I don't know if you've been scrapbooking for a long time. We started out with corners, and I say that was like 28 years ago. We started out with corners and strips. If you're one of those people that started with corners and strips, let me hear that below because that's how we started scrapbooking. I look back at those albums and I'm like, yep, I remember those days. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the corners down here because we're going to do something fun with those. So once we've got everything placed, kind of how we want it, I think I'd like these 2 together like this. We're going to go ahead and stick them down. So grab your adhesive and let's start with our corners. Make sure that you can see everything. Sometimes I push it a little too far up. So we're going to start with our corners and put those down here. Line those up nice and straight. Not crooked like I just did. But that's the good part about using a repo, girls. Love myself some repo. Okay, so go ahead and stick your corner down here. And I want to make sure that I'm lining my paper up straight. Okay, so now I'm going to come back up here, and I want these pictures kind of centered in this space right here, but not coming too far down because we're going to be putting something there. So once you get it the way you want it, go ahead and put your adhesive on it. Now, some people don't like to put adhesive on their mats, so I'm going to show you. I know if you've been with me, you've seen this before, but if you just want to do just a little bit of repo, right there in the middle, so that it came and it's time to put your pictures on, and maybe your picture is going to go like that, okay? You would be able to pull it up and put it just like that. So that's an option for you too. I don't have a real big problem if my picture is going the other direction, and I'll show you what I mean when I go to put my pictures down, how I fix that, okay? And I kind of want this picture kind of in the center of the fun pumpkin that we just did. So we're going to go ahead and put this next to the edge, kind of eyeball it. I've kind of got it up just a smidge over 1/2 inch here and a smidge over 1/2 inch there. Looks pretty good. Then I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Okay, and how about we start with our paper straight? There we go. So another trick you could do is if you're wanting those pictures to look like they flow from one to the other, just bring your paper, make sure it's straight, and bring it over and line it up just like that. You're getting a nice cohesive look then. And let's go ahead and put these little 4x4s down. Now, when you're putting your acorns down, you're going to want to make sure that your acorns are correct. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get our stickers. So the stickers that we're sharing, okay, I have a little bit of a cough going on today, are these little fun corner ones. And now we're going to put our other corner on. Okay, so find the other little fun pumpkin corner. And that's going to go down here. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to do something I like. I love the word "so grateful." So let's pull that out. And I kind of think this would be perfect just to pop it a little bit. So I'm going to use the little tiny foam squares. We're just going to pop that a little bit. This is a perfect use for the little tiny ones. And I'm going to bring it over here, but I'm not going to stick it down because I want to put a little thing of leaves underneath it. So I think I'm going to pull these little tiny leaves, and we're going to kind of tuck that underneath. And then I'll go ahead and pull the backing off. So I'll go ahead and pull the backing off of that. We'll bring that in right here, so it's kind of underneath that picture. And let's do a couple little hearts. How about, let's do a little blue one and a little red one. Okay. So there and there. Perfect. Oops. Make sure it's all stuck down. Okay, so now we're ready for our little sticker cluster over here. We're gonna do our little scarecrow right here. So let's find our scarecrow. And where is the little scarecrow? There he is. He's so cute. So we're gonna bring that right in up here. Now you could use foam squares on it if you want. I think I'm going to use the foam squares on the autumn days. And while I'm putting the foam squares on, let me show you a little trick about foam squares. So you don't want to put foam squares here and here, because when you close your album, it's foam square touching foam square. And it does get a little bulky, okay? That's why some people don't like foam squares. I like the look that it gives, because I feel like it gives, I don't know, a little dimension. So for me, I like using it. I just want to be able to use it where they're not going to, when the page is closed, that they're not touching each other, okay? So we're going to add a little bit. I think the scarecrow maybe needs to be in some leaves. So let's find another little thing of leaves right here. And let's tuck some leaves like he's standing in some leaves right there. And then we're going to use one of these little blue things right here. We're going to bring it underneath here just to add a little bit more blue onto this page because we have blue over here. And then we're going to grab a couple tiny little acorns off. Now I'm going to add a little foam square to my acorn right here. And we're going to bring that in right there. Then I'm going to add a foam square down here because I want to add a little acorn on this page. So add a little foam square there. And we're going to come down here and we're going to add that right there next to the pumpkin. And then we need a couple little hearts because we got hearts here and we got hearts here. So let's use this little orange heart and another little blue heart. So grab both of those off your strip and we're going to throw one right in here. Fill up that little space. Okay, so now we're ready to add some pictures. So we had just taken our 38th wedding anniversary. We went up to Door County, love Door County. So I have a few pictures from there. So I cropped a couple of them down so we can throw them in here. And once again, these are 4 by 4, so these went to like 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And maybe I want to pull his blue shirt over here. That pops a little bit more. And we're ready to add those down. So I hope you're enjoying these videos. Let us know if you're liking them, because, you know, we're talking about next year. And I love taking paper packs and turning them into full pages. I have a site called Paper Pack to Pretty Pages, and that's exactly what I do. So this is right up my alley. I love working with these girls. They are so fun to work with. And I'm loving the pages that we're doing. So this, once again, if you're wondering what this was Autumn Harvest line, and we used the paper and the stickers. I didn't use any cardstock. I haven't seen the other two girls' videos, so I don't know what they've used yet, but I cannot wait to see them. So make sure you look at the link right below this video to get the links for their videos so that you can hop over there and see Nicole's and Donna's. So thank you very much, and happy scrapbooking.